I don't know if y'all have been paying attention to what's happening to cryptocurrency over
Like
basically
that the
this
markets
year,
crashed
really since
completely.
November last year. But I was reading this article and some things in it, kind of like, oh wow, I didn't realize that. So did you know that Black folks, African Americans, we actually are more into crypto than our white counterparts? As far let me make this technically, African American investors are more into crypto. So when you look at crypto, cryptocurrency, just across the board, African Americans that are investors, about 25% have crypto as part of their portfolio, about 15% for white counterparts. When it comes to your first actual asset that you purchase, we're twice as likely to have crypto as our white counterparts. So we are really into crypto, as far as investors are concerned. The problem with this is that cryptocurrency last year at its high, all asset classes, 3.2 trillion. Today, less than 1 trillion. That stuff has come down significantly. So for African Americans investors, because we invest at a higher level, in cryptocurrency, we actually have a bigger exposure to risk and to just the downturn. And like I said, we have. I don't want to say we haven't seen anything like this, because we have seen things like this. It just hasn't. Crypto just wasn't as popular as it is today. But I wanted to, kind of get your guys' thoughts on that. That I did not know that we actually invest in cryptocurrency at a higher, at a higher clip than our white counterparts. That actually kind of shocked me in this article.
It makes sense, in my opinion, because I think a lot of us feel like this is the next thing, and we don't want to be left on the shore as the boat sails. So I think a lot of people, maybe haphazardly, or just maybe,
And
let
not
me make
maybe.
sure I got some skin in the game. Let me make
They
sure I got some
maybe.
skin in the game. So I'm not, so I'm taking part, right? Versus the actual, okay, I want to expand my portfolio. What portfolio? I got savings, I got checking, and anything else I can spare. Let me get on this new thing,
And
right?
0.01% of Bitcoin.
You know what? Let's keep it for real, for real. So much of our community is underbanked. You said savings and checking. They may not even have that. You know how many folks go to Walmart to cash checks?
Mhm.
Go to check cash and place a cash check because they literally have no account. They are completely underbanked or no, or unbanked.
Well, see,
So yeah,
here's the thing I think about this. We say, oh, African Americans, black and brown or well more into I don't necessarily know that I don't think that statistic reflects the reality of what's being done in the black community as it relates to cryptocurrency. I don't think we're necessarily these, ultra savvy investors or whatever. And
Mm-mm.
not that we're not. I just think that crypto has been marketed to black communities differently than it's been marketed to non-black communities. Ain't no white celebrities promoting crypto, at least not to white people. Kim Kardashian promoting it to us. You know what I mean? Although he's promoting it to us. Warren Buffett ain't promoting this ish to nobody. Bill Gates ain't promoting this ish to nobody.
yeah, I
They
think it was
saying
Matt.
it's crap. So we got to ask ourselves, why is this something that is being so targeted, and the advertising and the marketing, showing people, buying $1 million NFTs and everybody's rich and blah blah and jets and cars and all of that. Everybody's a crypto trader, everybody's forex, everybody's whatever. We gotta look at why that type of vehicle continues to be heavily marketed in black communities as well, and what we can do to be better educated about these things. We just jump on the ship now. Granted, we have reason to be skeptical of banks, Greenwood, Tulsa, all that good stuff. We have reason to be skeptical of traditional investment systems things like that. However, I think the people that are doing marketing are preying on that kind of thing, and pushing these vehicles to us when we don't really have the money to spare to even be a part of it.
I think it's even more basic than that. So it is really, really easy to buy crypto. If you have a Cash App account, you can very easily buy Bitcoin. It's built right into the app. So this article that that I linked to in the Financial Times, one of the stories in there, they're telling the story of a young man who he on accident put $5 into crypto on accident. He didn't even mean to do it. But once he did it, he just left it sit there. And a few months later, that $5 had turned into 70. So then he's like, oh, okay. And at the convincing of friends and family, you should put life savings money in this. So he took 20 grand of his life savings and put it in there. And clearly, if he did it before probably October, November timeframe of last year, it was going up. But since then, it has been going down significantly so. So I don't even know that we're being targeted. It's just that maybe you are because of the ease of buying crypto in an app like Cash App. I mean, it's just right there. You can just go do it, and then you have money.
But now I'm getting real conspiracy on you. How do we know that the people behind Cash App haven't seen the same Financial Times story, know that African Americans over index on crypto, and now have made it even easier for us to purchase and get in on this? I would be interested in seeing the breakdown of who is buying crypto via a Cash App, because I agree the ease of use is one of the selling features, but I would be interested in seeing a breakdown of the demographic on who's actually using Cash App to buy crypto. I would have to imagine it probably ain't a bunch of white folks. I'm just saying.
And I mean, you could take Robinhood as a previous example of this quote unquote retail investor that, everybody flocked to Robinhood to put all this money in the stock market. And then Robinhood was using some third party company to get them a heads up on what people buying. The big company buy that first, and then guess who left holding the bag? So my point is, sucker is not the right word, but any
victim is probably a better word in some cases.
You need a foundation, and nobody
at the bottom of the pyramid scheme.
Exactly.
You need the foundation
that's
of the
what
pyramid.
I was looking for. You need somebody at the bottom of the pyramid. So that's why, going back to your point, Stephanie, we are so overly indexed because we're so heavily marketed to as far as the relates to crypto, because we need some suckers at the bottom.
You gotta have the people at the bottom to build the whole thing up. That's it.
I'm like you, Stephanie. I would like to see numbers on this, because when I think of investor, anyone who buys $5 worth of Bitcoin on Cash App, they by definition are an investor. But in my mind, that's not what I'm thinking of when I think of investor.
And that's probably not even what they're thinking of. They're just thinking, I'm gonna flip this $5 to make 200 and go pay my light bill. You know what I'm saying? I think like I said, the education's not there. It's just a snatch and grab, kind of get rich quick thing that, again, is not necessarily the community's fault. However, the information is out there. And we can't always be the ones so quick to be running to try to flip to get that bag, and
the onus is on us. Like Rob said, the onus is on us to become investors.
Absolutely.
So
when we become investors, then the game kind of changes, related to, the gun thing, right? People say, what would change gun laws? If a bunch of black men went out and got a bunch of AR-15s and we over-index on that, then they change the laws quick. Imagine if most of these overly indexed black folks became actual investors to where we wasn't on the bottom, on the ground floor. Wait a minute, let's change. Well, hold on.
Wait a minute. Exactly.
We need to regulate.
Wait a minute. That part.
Yeah. So here's the other part, and just to stick with your things that make you go, Stephanie. So I've said Cash App probably 4 or 5 times in this segment. We just talked about a few weeks ago, Jack Dorsey and and
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z doing their
Mhm.
crypto thing. Well,
Right.
who runs Cash App? Jack Dorsey. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So
Listen,
there is
it's a
probably some there.
conspiracy.
But that being said, I'm going to go back to what I said then. What I hope that is happening right now with, like I said, I feel bad for anybody who has lost their life savings, to see that go down 66, 70, 71% in a year's time because you dumped everything into these ridiculously volatile, cryptocurrencies. And we're not just talking about the big ones that, we're not just talking about the Bitcoins and the Ethereums of the world. We're talking about the Shiba Inus and the Dogecoins and these meme coins that are out there that, if you actually go and you really research this stuff, that it's like, is there are
Don't
these
amount
really
to a
sound
fraction of
financial
nothing.
practices,
Right.
behind these platforms. So I do feel for folks who were dumping, just life savings level of money into this, and now you're kind of hemmed up. That being said, what I really hope for the masses, because I don't think if you were to go, and survey the 40 some odd million of us walking around this country, that most of us are worried about, I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet because I bought too much Bitcoin. I don't think that is a massive issue in our community. It might be for some. And like I said, I
Right.
think we're, over indexed in this particular asset class, but I don't think that that is the main issue for most folks in our community. So what I hope is that
Bigger problem.
start to just research this stuff, and just learn and become more financially literate across not just crypto. If you got to start there because maybe that's what's interesting in you, and you're not hearing it now, but you were hearing a year ago, 6-7 months ago, you were hearing how people's like, man, you put $5 in and turn it into 70. You were hearing that. If that just gets you interested enough to, okay, well, let me go find out how a stock works. Let me go find out how a bond works. Let me go find out how I can, buy this EFT. Let me go find out how I can do this. I talk to folks all the time who are being given free money from their job, in the form of 401k matches.
Mhm.
And it's like, you have to be thinking at some
Change
point
advantage.
about your retirement, about your future. They're giving you free money right now. This was a thing for me, but my first 401k was back in the good old days, to where my company did 101 match up to the maximum, 100% match up to the maximum. Wasn't doing the maximum. And I had a gentleman came in who happened to be in my fraternity, so we had some different conversations than he had from everybody else. And he started talking to me about it, and he's like, "This is like one of the best 401ks I've ever seen.
Yeah,
They match
absolutely.
100%."
Unheard of.
And I was very young. It's like I said, I know that's why I'm doing 100%. And he sat down and he talked to me. It's like, this is just free money. Even if you decide you want to go, buy a house, build a car or something, it's like you're paying yourself back. It's like, get this free money while you can get it. And it literally took somebody who knew what he was talking about to explain it to me in a way that actually made sense. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm just leaving money sitting here on the table because my company is matching me at 100%. And essentially what that means is that no matter what happened, I doubled my money every year.
And let me jump
While
in
they
here
were
real
doing that.
quick. Let
Yeah.
me jump in here real quick just to address something in the comments in the chat.
Yeah.
Because what you just said, the monologue you just gave us is exactly, I think, what the Tech John specifically has done in this area. Sparkling Blueberry said, in light of what's going on in crypto, how do you feel about the crypto programs you have shared on the Tech John? And I think I feel comfortable saying they've been 100% educational focused. We
Mhm.
have never tried to sell anything to anybody. We have never tried to push a particular coin or make any sort of financial recommendations to anybody listening. I mean, I honestly, I challenge anybody to go archives
Mhm.
and find something where we were like, buy this crypto. I think the point of this
We kept pushing.
program is education.
Mm-hmm.
Learns.
That's always been the focus. And I'm not trying to,
Right.
jump down your throat.
No. You're not.
Blueberries. I just want to crystal clear where this show stands on this issue, and the fact that any guest or any conversation or discussion we've had around this issue has always had education at its focus, and we're going to
Mhm.
continue to do that.
Right. If anything, we've had guests come on and say, I don't know if I would be messing with that right now. I don't, they've actually talked more
Exactly.
negatively about some of this crazy stuff that's out there. That
And
more
we
so
all
than just,
remember when I tried to get old boy to tell us what an NFT was. I wasn't letting no boy off the hook. Like, come
nah,
on, like you got to break it down and
yeah.
make it plain and make it make sense
And
for
he
us.
did. That was when we had Jeremy Butler on. He did one of these. He had to sit back, take a breath, get his
Take a
thought
breath.
together,
Listen,
and then he came with the heat. He came with the
that's
knowledge
right.
and answered that question.
But
That's
don't
one
come
of
on the
our.
tech John with no
Trying to
bullshit.
push something.
So
Right.
no,
Don't come on the tech John with no
our
bullshit.
crypto, or the reason I put this in there is because it's a big thing, and I'm looking at Spike Lee in the in the title. I was like, oh, what is going on with black folks in the crypto world right now? But when we have had crypto experts, and they are experts in what
Right.
they the folks we had come on, they are absolutely experts in what they do.
These are not Instagram experts.
And I like how Jeremy Butler said this. He said, one of the things he said is like, I have a little bit more than I had. That's all that it needs to be. I have a little bit. He said, I'm not out there balling like some of these folks are, but I have a little bit more than I had. That's what he said. When we had Dr. Professor Tanya M. Evans on, she said something very similar, similarly, that this is something that it changed her life. I'm not telling everybody to go out here and just go crazy with this stuff, but you need to learn about it and figure out how it might be able to change your life too. So that's why I wanted to put this in here.
Afford to lose.
So I wanted to put it in here because, we have talked positively about these things. We cover the stories. We talked about the Jack Dorsey and Jay-Z story just a few weeks back.
And I was mad skeptical about that. I still am.
Still am. But like I said, this is one to where, it's like, what, our community, if we are, we have put a lot of money into this as far as those who are investing. So we do have more exposure to it. So don't just sit there and watch your savings go away. You need to learn about what you can do. Like I said, we are, once again, we're not giving any advice. I don't think any of the three of us are expert enough in this to give anybody any advice other than learn about the stuff that you're buying, learn about the stuff that you may want to buy. And I think we would all agree that there's a way that rich people stay rich. Rich people are not working hour to hour to hour to make their money. They're invested in things, whether it be real estate or the stock market. Insurance. They are invested in things that make money for them even when they're asleep. And I just want to say, so that's why we bring these stories up.
All I can hear in my head is De La Soul stakes is high. Let me stop because we probably don't have a license for that. But stakes is high.
You know what?
Y'all.